From newsounds.org, welcome to another of our live in-studio performances in the series we call the Soundcheck Podcast. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, I'm John Schaefer. The Swedish musicians Peter, Bjorn, and John have just released a new album. It's called Darker Days. It's their 8th record together. And as that title might indicate, it takes on some darker issues, but this is a band that built its reputation on upbeat pop songs like Young Folks, you know, the song with the whistling. And the funny thing about this record is that balance between light and dark. Now, as they did last time, Peter and Bjorn have joined us to play some stripped-down versions of a couple of those songs. The first of them is a song called Living a Dream. Here are Peter and Bjorn without John.
To drive. Information doesn't stick, you pick it up on the fly. So tell me, can you honestly say that you know me? Can you honestly say that you've known me now for so long? Well, you don't. Now you know. No means no. This is the life that I believe that I would lead when I was 5 years, living the dream. This is the life that I believe that I would lead when I was 10 years. But I won't back down on myself so easily without fight. So show me you're redrawing the map, how to sell me. I don't hold it against you, but tell me now how long you think it'll last. Now you know. No means no. This is the life that I believe that I would lead when I was 12 years, living the dream. This is the life that I believe that I would lead when I was 15, living the dream. This is the life that I believe that I would lead when I was 12. When I was 22, living the dream.
Song's called Living a Dream, a live performance here in our studio from Peter and Bjorn, from Peter, Bjorn, and John. That's Peter Moren singing, playing the guitar and a bit of harmonica, and Bjorn Yttling behind our piano and singing as well. Guys, it's a pleasure to have the two of you back here. Thank you.
Lovely to be back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bjorn, last time you were here, you brought in your bass and all your gear. You saw the piano and said, I'm playing the piano.
Yeah.
You've learned your lesson. This time, no gear, just came straight and went to the piano.
I'm playing the piano.
It's his first instrument, actually.
Really?
You know, when he...
And Peter, what was your first instrument?
It's actually the violin.
The fiddle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm from that area of Sweden where you play fiddle.
Dalarna.
Dalarna.
Yeah. And are you going back to it now?
I'm trying. It sounds a bit wobbly, but I'm trying. I really want to.
Isn't that the whole point?
Ba-dum-patch. Where's John when you need him?
You're there, John.
Yeah, right. Now, let me ask you about that song, Living a Dream, because on the surface, that's a very cheerful, happy song.
Yeah.
You know, the character in the song is saying, this is the life I was dreaming of when I was 5, when I was 10, when I was 15. And he keeps insisting that this is the life he's been dreaming of. And after a while, he began to think, why is this guy insisting so much on this?
Well, I think it is actually a dream, but it's also a reminder of that it was a dream, because you sometimes forget that. And you have to like pinch yourself and sometimes and be grateful for what you got. But then there's also this dark undercurrent of the verses, which is sort of about how you can lose yourself in this dream, and also in the maybe people you're working in, or just the bigger picture of the dream, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
And even a line like that car you're trying to drive, you know, it suggests maybe you're not quite there yet.
No, someone is maybe steering you the wrong direction, and you can't really, get a hold of it, and it can be a mess sometimes.
Yeah.
Still a dream, though.
Yeah.
Maybe a nightmare some days, but...
But now there's a long tradition in pop music of dark songs with a very bright, danceable sound.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of Caribbean music, a lot of South African music, it's all around the world. Did you guys... when you set out to make this record, did you know that this was the direction you were going to go in?
I think we all have a tradition ourselves as well of that mixture of upbeat beats and melodies and darker lyrics. But maybe we took it to an extreme here, or we're trying to be a bit more obvious. but yeah, I love that tradition. Yeah, it's great.
And I mean, these are darker days. Politically fractured here in the States, Brexit happening in the UK, and in Sweden, you guys have recently had an election, and Bjorn, that sort of revealed a lot of kind of friction and fissures in Sweden as well, right?
Yeah, I guess they're trying to figure it out now, but we're not a part of it. They haven't reached out to us yet, but...
They haven't asked you to help
No.
form the new government or anything?
No, but I mean, to us, when we started this thing too, there was a song that started as a Darker Days, it's sort of thing when you don't know when it's just getting gradually darker. It's not like you open up the door one day and then it's dark, so you didn't know how did this happen. So it's... maybe it's been going on for a while. Too,
Yeah.
But there's a book actually. The Nix, it's called.
The Knicks.
I think it's about this woman moving out from her husband, like taking one piece at a time, and then like he's like, what happened? She's out already, and didn't. When did it happen? So a little bit like that, and also Swedish like black and white movies and weather and snow and all that stuff we were starting to think about, and then the world collapsed during the course of the album.
How convenient.
How lucky for you.
So good for media and stuff.
But it's not just like politics. I mean, some of the lyrics refer at least obliquely and sometimes pretty directly to things like the environment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something you constantly think about, especially when you have kids, I think.
Yeah.
Because you kind of figure that we're going to be okay, but how will it be for the kids or the grandkids, you know?
Now you know, a lot of people, despite what you just said, do not think about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, they think, well, you know, it's only November and it's already winter in New York. So what are people talking about global warming? Obviously, it seems like it's getting colder, you know, and that's not climate change. But up north, you know, I have a good friend who spent many years as a composer in Alaska, and many of his pieces are a result of seeing things like the ice break early. So,
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, you guys are
Really
up
scary.
north.
Up north, there's I don't know, it's called permafrost or something like
Permafrost.
Permafrost,
Yes.
which is getting very shallow compared to. I mean, it's disappearing up there. So it's further up north from where we are, but it's definitely a thing. It's been all the year round for a long time, and now it's getting less of that. So.
The point is that you guys up north, the further north you are, the more you're the canary in the coal mine, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see the effects first.
I mean, this summer in Sweden was crazy. Already in early May, it was like high summer weather. And then early July, it was all, brown and
Right.
really dusty and dry. And there was a lot of fire, what do you call it? Skogsbränder. Fire.
Fires.
Fires, yeah, fires in the woods, you know.
Oh, brush fires
yeah,
and things like
lots
yeah,
of and no rain. So the whole summer was, I mean, it was nice. You could swim a lot, but at the same time, it's kind of scary. You know?
Yeah. Darker Days. That's the name of the latest record by Peter, Bjorn, and John. They have a sold-out show tonight in Brooklyn at Rough Trade, but you can still there are some tickets left for tomorrow night at Bowery Ballroom.
Yes.
This current tour wraps up in time for you guys to be done for the holidays. Is that right?
Wraps up in time for Christmas, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the song you're going to do for us next is Dark Ages. And Bjorn, you were telling me before we went on today that you guys haven't played this live yet.
No, this is the first time ever, I guess.
Yeah.
And we haven't rehearsed it without drums, so it's going to be interesting, but I will try.
All right. So here's a premiere on this edition of the Soundcheck podcast from newsounds.org, our live in-studio series with Peter and Bjorn from Peter, Bjorn, and John. The song is called Dark Ages.
Now the dark ages are back. We'll spread the disease, brought us down to our knees. Now the dark ages are back. No word leader pretend could predict such an end. And in all my days of traveling on, no, it never crossed my mind. While I tended my garden, wool in air, from where I stood it seemed fine. But now the dark ages are back. All the prophets were black, love's gone under attack. Now the dark ages are back. Ice is melting away, we shut up and play. Money, poverty, dignity, it's a mix-up hard to shake. We've been stomping this ground for 1,000,000 years. Now the earth's about to break. I can feel it, I can see it falling apart, it strays and bends. I can feel it, I can rip it up and just start over again. Lend a friend a hand. See it falling apart, it strays and bends. I can feel it, I can rip it stop and just start over again. Can you hear me? We're stuck in the dark, and no light and no way out. You tell me, is it way too late or too hard to make it right? No, don't let me down. Now the dark ages are back. Carved kings in the wings is what tomorrow will bring. Now the dark ages are back. The new mornings and morn, I take care of the newborn.
The song is called Dark Ages, played live for the first time by Peter Moren and Bjorn Yttling from Peter, Bjorn, and John. That is from the album called Darker Days. And Peter, it's an acknowledgement of the fact that there's always darkness. There's always a cycle of something is always going wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Just have to pick up on it. Yeah, no, totally.
So as you look at this series of songs, some of which are about persevering in the face of trouble, and some of them are a kind of a cry of alarm, do you see it as an optimistic record at the end or a pessimistic record?
I think maybe our next record is going to be a bit more positive, but I can't really say yet. But it has to always be like another perspectives at some point. But I mean, there is the song "One for the Team," which is sort of like a up song and sort of, you know, pepping each other up.
Right.
That we can like do stuff together, and if we help each other out, we need each other's help. But there are a lot of pretty grim songs, yeah, I guess.
Well, and then there's the Silicon Valley Blues, which is
yeah.
not a blues at all, but really kind of talks about data mining and data gathering and, you know, the kind of big brother society that we've signed ourselves up for.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Now, are you guys on social media? I mean, I know professionally Peter, Bjorn, and John are, but, you know, do you...
Yeah, I am,
you can't really avoid it, can you?
Yeah, you can. Bjorn isn't.
Really? You're off the grid, Bjorn?
Nowhere to be found on social media.
Okay, good for you.
And
I'm the same way. I have a
yeah,
professional...
but I'm a bit older than Peter too.
2 years.
Yeah.
And I might be yet another little bit older than you. But it's kind of... It's weird because even if you're not on social media, you're still on the internet, right? You buy stuff online and people get so much information about you that way.
Yeah, know everything about you.
Yeah, it's
so
like
algorithm. And
I buy something online and the next day I'm on YouTube and there's a commercial for an advertisement for it. It's like, I just bought this half an hour ago. How do they know?
Yeah, exactly.
Now the album is on the Ingrid record label. But Ingrid is more than just a record label. Explain to folks who are not familiar with Ingrid what it is.
Ingrid is more like a collective of Swedish artists, and it's us, PBJ, and Lykkeli, and Mike Snow, and some other people. And we just wanted to make... we had a sort of a scene in Stockholm, Sweden, and we just wanted to like make more stuff together anyways, but because sometimes you're in the same city but you're not doing stuff. So we tried to make more like live shows and different things, and then we have a record label too. So
right, which releases your own records. I mean, by which I mean your individual.
Yeah.
So there are several Peter Moren records.
Yeah.
And Bjorn, you record under the name Yttling Jazz.
Do some jazz stuff. Put out some other things like bands and stuff, but we figured that out when it was trickier to get records out than now. You know, this is a couple of years ago since, but now it came in handy for us too with the band. So it feels like a good thing to keep up.
Mm-hmm. And so is there really kind of a sense of community among the musicians in Stockholm? So you have different configurations coming and going, playing live, making records, etc.?
I think so.
Yeah,
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 and
more or less, yeah.
And we have this studio to Ingrid Studio, so there's a lot of people around that. You can always see people, and we go and rehearse there, and we do things. So, and also when you have the label, it feels weird not putting out records or recording stuff. So you get more, energy for doing that, I think.
Yeah. And do you guys run it? I mean, I know you founded it, but do you still have time to oversee the day-to-day?
Of course, yeah.
Wow, you both just sounded so exhausted.
Of course, run it. Well, what do you mean?
Running with it.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's great that you do that. The album Darker Days is the latest from Peter, Bjorn, and John. Once again, playing tonight, sold-out show at Rough Trade. Tomorrow night, they are at the Bowery Ballroom here in Manhattan, right now playing for us in our lower Manhattan studios on this edition of our in-studio performance series that we call the Soundcheck Podcast. And there's another song you're going to play for us called Wrapped Around the Axle. Have you guys worked out, I mean, do the songs start kind of like this? Small, 2 or 3 of you in a room before they become the big studio thing?
Yeah.
Well, the big studio thing for us is now on this record, us two and John on drums. So it's not that big, but definitely try stuff together in a room. And if it doesn't work out, we try it the next day and see. But this song, Wrapped Around the Axle, actually started with a little beat and a bass guitar more, and then the whole thing is written upon that. So
right, it has a really neat bass line, which I guess you're going to do on the piano.
Play it on the piano. See how it goes.
All right, Wrapped Around the Axle from Peter and Bjorn, from Peter, Bjorn, and John.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing we can do or say is gonna make it go away. It's another time now, another time now. Even if you had my name, we'd be feeling just the same. I don't wanna be a, I don't wanna be around. Can't be around, I can't be around when we're going down. Don't wanna sing that song, don't wanna play along. Tell me what's going on, we're getting wrapped around the axle. Don't know what we have done, don't know what's right or wrong. Tell me what's going on, we're getting wrapped around the axle. Getting wrapped around the axle.
That's called Wrapped Around the Axle from Peter, Bjorn, and John's latest album, Darker Days, but a live performance by Peter Moran, Bjorn Yttling, here in our studio. And Peter, you alluded a moment ago to the next album. So how far are you guys into that process?
Shh, that's a secret.
Okay. You had all of the earmarks of someone saying something that he suddenly realized he wasn't supposed to be saying. So I'm not...
Yeah.
Say 20%.
Okay. All right. So, but it's begun.
Yeah, I mean, we figured this time we didn't want to stop working, because before on Breaking Point we worked on that record for 4 years or something, and just kept doing different versions.
Kept stopping.
Of the song. Kept stopping, kept starting.
Yeah.
So now we were in a good mood with Darker Days, so we thought we're gonna do another one quicker.
All those songs about turbulence and upheaval and climate change put you guys in a good mood.
Yeah. Thank you, End of the World. Let's enjoy.
Guys, it's been great fun having you back here with us on Soundcheck today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This is Soundcheck.
And we're gonna rain it in. Reap the rewards of what we've grown.